The U.S. has begun repositioning its ships in the Mediterranean, triggering speculation of a NATO invasion of Libya. British planes have reportedly been moved to an air base in Cyprus for a possible operation. Well, it comes as Libya's longtime leader, Colonel Gaddafi, remains besieged in the capital, Tripoli, with opposition forces nearby. RT's correspondent Peter Oliver has more from neighboring Egypt.
Well, what we're seeing at the moment is the United States Navy moving their fleet in the Mediterranean into strategic positions around Libya. Now, this comes after U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said that nothing was off the table when it came to Libya, raising some concerns of outside military action taking place in the country. Now, the British Prime Minister David Cameron has suggested that he would support arming opposition forces, arming those forces opposed to Colonel Gaddafi. He also threw his backing behind the imposing of a no-flight zone over Libya. Well, the NATO Secretary General has said that there will be no NATO intervention into Libya without a UN resolution. Now, a resolution seems something that won't happen. Now, this is due to the fact that both Russia and China, who have a veto on the Security Council, have both vehemently said that they will not support any form of outside intervention, outside military intervention into Libya. Now, this could lead to the words that are being thrown around are a coalition of the willing, just those people, those nations that are willing to throw military support behind intervention into Libya. Now, this has echoes of the build-up to the war in Iraq. Also, something that has troubled those people that have seen the similarities between this and the run-up to the war in Iraq are claims that Colonel Gaddafi may possess stockpiles of chemical weapons. Well, there are those that have suggested that should outside international intervention, outside international military intervention take place in Libya, it could be disastrous for relations between the West and the Arab world.
This is very, very ugly. The return of humanitarian imperialism. So things have to be very clear. Okay, sanctions against the Gaddafi clan, freezing their assets in Europe. That's okay. But no NATO imperialist adventurism in Northern Africa. If the next step being discussed already in Brussels, in London, and in Washington would be a NATO invasion, this would be absolutely disgusting. But we cannot rule it out for the moment.
Well, fighting is continuing in Libya at the moment. Overnight on Monday, we saw attacks against the cities of Benghazi, as well as artillery falling on Misrata. So there is fighting continuing. We're also hearing reports of heavy weapons being used against opposition forces. Now, we have seen this in the past, and I've seen on Arabic television the devastating results of anti-aircraft guns being used against the people of Libya. Tripoli remaining encircled by opposition forces trying to remove Colonel Gaddafi from power. Now, Gaddafi himself has said that the people of Libya love him and will die for him, believing that the people will still fight for him and that he can remain in power. We're also hearing out of Libya that RT's sister station, Russia Al-Yam, the Arabic language channel, has been blocked by forces in Libya, inside Libya, the satellite signal being jammed.